Hey all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today we're going to work on our Sargent Juniper, or Juniper Sargent. Really nice little tree. I got it on clearance for $7.24, I believe it was. Something like that, after taxes and everything else they added into it. It was half off $10.98, so half off $11. It was like $6.50. Then they taxed me a whole bunch, and then all of a sudden I'm paying like $7 for this little tree. I don't know. Absolutely beautiful though. I love it. I can't wait to do stuff with it. Let me show it to you. Look at this. I have it sitting in its little tub because we're going to take it out and get a little scrape across the top to get it some more exposed roots showing out of the soil here. But just a little look around here. Cool little tree. And it really does. It has some great movement inside here. If we look in real close, we'll be able to see more later once we get this cleaned out a little bit. But great movement in a spiral shape. I'm not sure if somebody did it on purpose or it just happened to grow like this, and I just happened to be lucky enough to find this tree and everything's going great with it. I do want to show you something else with it just real quick, and then we'll get it out of the pot and we'll begin to scrape the surface soil to look for where the top of the roots are at. So let's look at this last thing real quick. Okay, so if we look here, we have this nice juvenile foliage all through here, everywhere, right? And then as you begin to get out to the further tips, let's focus it. Come on, little buddy. Okay, so as we begin to get out to the furthest tips, oh, I can't get it to focus. You have a more juvenile foliage out there. Or not more juvenile, I'm sorry. It's getting into more of an adult foliage out the further away it goes. But this is a lot softer foliage, which is really nice compared to some junipers that it stabs you and it hurts and it's not fun to play with at all. But everything has nice back budding in there as well. I just thought I'd bring that up. I have a lot of cleaning to do as far as all the brown on the inside. So once we get this out and we get the top scraped off a little bit, I'm probably going to do some cleaning, and then we'll get, well, I'll probably do the cleaning off video because I'm sure you don't want to see that. And then we'll get into more action sides. Alright, so I feel like this is going to be our best view for the time being. I'm just going to give it a little squeeze around the sides here. And then I'm just going to give it a little pull from the top. So we are going to end up putting it back inside here. And we want to save all the soil and stuff because I don't really want to disturb a lot of the roots. I'm just trying to, let me see here. There we go, that's better. I'm just trying to see what all we can get exposed just from the top layer, right? So we'll grab our little fork we cut off the pointed ends on and just give it a little scrape here. Let's come to this side right here where we've got, there we go. So like we don't need all of that sitting there just rotting it out. And so there we go, we begin to find the roots, and there's a nice solid root right there. So that's one that I'm going to be happy with. Alright, so now we're coming in here, and there's another solid root right there. So I'm happy with that as well. So all we're going to do is just more or less try to pull down and clean in that direction just to get these roots more exposed. I don't want these all covered in here the way that they have them right now. So something I couldn't see originally, but now that I see it, it's actually really, really cool. Let me see if I can get you in here. There we go. That little split at the base is super cool. Sorry, I just thought I would share that with you in a close-up zone. And there we go right there. We've got another nice root coming out. So it looks like as far as roots go, that's about all we're going to have right there for looks to look at. So we've gotten it down low enough. All I'm going to do now is put it back in the pot and basically go through and clean off everywhere that's got this brown foliage. I'm going to get that all snipped and pinched out just like that. It falls right out. So we're going to get that all cleaned out, and then I will bring you guys back in. All right, you'll see it here in about 1 second. All right, so we went through and we got a lot of the dead cleaned up. Oh, some of it fell between my toes because I'm wearing flip-flops out here though. Not the best choice there of things to be wearing out here. I left some things that I figured I would get rid of, but I told you I was just going to clean up the dead, so that was all I did. I just cleaned up the dead. A lot of this we're going to wire just to get it out of the way so that we can look at it. I feel like in this situation, I have a good root here, a good root here, and another one right here. So I believe I'm going to end up shooting, this is the front right in here. So with that being said, I feel it is best to probably mark that so that I don't forget what I decided was the front. For even if it is just for the time being, I think it's best to have it marked so that I don't get confused later on and go, well, what did I even have as the front? Last thing we need is me getting all confused, right? Because it'll happen. And I really like that. I really like that butt crack in there. So, first thought here, right? As we're looking at this branch just doesn't belong. Almost everything back through here is dead, so there's no point in even cutting it here and folding it out the other way. I'm probably going to end up changing the planting angle and give it a little bit more of a slant here. Now, here we go. Change this planting angle. Give it that little bit of a slant here, right? So here's what I want you to see. I know you see this over here, and you're like, that's an awful slant. But hear me out. Okay, just hear me out on this one. Do we see it now? All of a sudden this is gone. Well, not this. This is staying. That's going to actually be the branch that's over here. This is all gone now, right? So we got that gone. This is over here. That's our new branch off to that side. Then this piece becomes the leader running up through for the time being. That's just my thought. But I think for certain, no matter what, in every scenario possible, this branch goes away. And I have to get rid of it. So I think I'm going to end up cutting that one and seeing about how much foliage I lose after cutting it. And that'll debate how much further into this we go. Because I don't plan on doing much. I don't want to do much that I'm going to end up hurting it. I think that's the way, that's what I'm going for here. And of course, as we all know me, I don't have everything organized over here. So I'm just going to come in here and just take one bite from here and take that down. There we go. Now we got this little guy out of here. I'm going to end up snipping that and planting that into my cutting bin in hopes that we get another nice cutting out of this. So I'm just going to take off some of the new growth on there. Boop, boop. Just slow it down a little bit. Then I'll just put it down inside my cutting bin down below here. So that's now in there as well. I think it's getting way fuller than what it should be. So now that we got that, I'm just going to rotate it a little bit more out this way for me so I can get underneath here a little better. I actually need to get a new pair of convex nips because the set I bought was a cheap set off of Amazon, and you're never going to guess, but they snapped in half. So there's that issue. And it's not awesome, but it's life. So my thought is, back when Bonsai started, they probably didn't have all these cool tools, so it shouldn't slow me down too much to have to work around it. I'm just going to take a little bit of Bonsai cut putty then and put that over it. It's not a giant spot, so it's just going to be like just a little sploosh over the top in here. Oh. And I'm not a fan of licking my fingers, because my thought is there's got to be some kind of chemical in this that I should not be ingesting. So I just take the fact that it's stuck to my fingers and I'm just going to keep going with it. Okay, so that smoothed off that piece. And it doesn't look like we lost that much foliage. So I guess the question is, do we take off this big knob right here next and see our thoughts from there? Let's see. Let's take a tour around real quick. So we'd be taking off this big piece right here. Right. And we'd have to get that back into this area, because we've got 1, 2, 3 coming out of it. And this is definitely not a good option. And that's definitely not a good option. So the only really good option is this one. So I think we're going to take off both these big ones and hope that I don't break my concave cutters in the midst of that. If I do, then I guess that was the tree's way of saying, leave me alone. So let's get those nipped off there, and we'll see. I am going to nip this one first. So this branch I don't believe is actually connected to this. This is on the back side of this big piece. You'll be able to see better once I get in here and get this nipped off. But you know how I also know these are cheap cutters? I have to bend them to line them back up after every use. Alright, so we got in there pretty good. There we go. So that one's out, and like I was thinking, this is not part of it, so that's actually running separate. So we may end up hitting that with a wire and trying to bend that around into a different shape. That cut actually went pretty good. We'll putty that up here in a second. I want to take a look from this side real quick and just make sure. Alright. Sylvester came in the house. He came to say, what's up everybody? How's everybody doing today? Alright, let's see. I'm going to turn it like this. That way I can try to get in here and I don't block your view all at the same time. So now, there we go. Now we got that piece off. Alright. So now we've lost a whole lot of foliage underneath here. And from here, I think we're just going to have to do wiring on everything else. I am going to take off all these little guys around here. I know, little buddy, I hear you back there. Hello. He's been not enjoying this weather. I don't think anybody has been enjoying this weather, but he also has not been enjoying this weather. So right now would be a great time for some convex cutters. So I need to put that on my list of things to get, because this is going to become very difficult to go through and get this all cleaned up properly. But sorry, my hand's going to be in your way here for a second. Actually, I'm going to be back with you as soon as I get this corner all cleaned up. Alright, I'll be right back with you. Alright, so sorry for the extra noise, but the rain has begun. What we're going to be doing now is we're just going to be going through and adding some wire. So I have like this brownish green colored wire that I'm going to be using just because that's what I have. So that's what we're going to use here. I'm pretty much just going to take it and just begin it all the way back and over in here. I'm not worried about it being super fancy here because I'm just trying to get this little branch moved and out to the side. So that's my main goal here. I'm just going to begin the wiring phase, and pretty much the only thing I'm going to show you guys real quick is just me getting this one and then bringing it off to the side here and saying, okay, you didn't use the right thickness of wire again, so we're going to have to double that one up. So I'm going to come back again with a second coat of wire. And just get in here nicely. And bring it over. And that's all. I'm just going to aim it just like that. And I feel like I'm still not in the right power spot that I need to be in with it, so just going to real nicely just stab that in there and hook it. There we go. That's it. So now I've got that branch pulled off to the side that I want it to grow into. So I'm just going to get everything else wired up real quick, and then we'll begin to move branches around once we get there. Or I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, so I apologize, we're running out of a little bit of light here, but this is where we're at right now. This is a little side branch we pulled off, and we're just trying to get that to lock in and over to the side there. So I'm not worried about it being pointed down so hard, because trust me, when I take this wire off, it's just going to go dink and shoot back up anyway. So being an over dramatic bend is not necessarily a bad idea in this situation. I thought I had you at a good angle, but I feel like we need to be up higher. So let me get you adjusted up here just a little bit. I feel like this is going to give you a lot more of a straight on look at it. There we go. That's it right there. Okay, so that's going to be right in there. So again, this is where I want the front to be. So I'm actually going to take this back branch back here. I gave it some nice wire. I'm going to pull it downwards, right? Worst case scenario, if I decide I don't like this branch, I have a backup branch right here that's going to kick all the way out for me. If I decide that I do like that branch, then I guess I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with this branch. But I'm not overly concerned with it. For now, we're getting it spread out so that we get some nice airflow. This big branch right here, I'm actually going to end up getting rid of. It is messing with me altogether. I know I said we took off enough foliage, but we're going to take this one off too. So let's get in here. And that's gone. Was it a good idea? Wasn't it a good idea? I don't know. All I know for certain is it was messing with me and I wasn't happy with it, so I got rid of it. I'm going to end up taking this little branch right here pointing to the front, and this actually has like real copper on it, so this one is why we're getting away with such a thin wire. But I now realize that I never finished wrapping this one. So sorry guys, you're gonna have to watch me just real quick. I'm just kidding, nothing I do is real quick. You're gonna have to stick with me here for a second while I get this one wrapped up. And we don't need it to be this long. Trust me, I know we don't. But I'm just gonna run it long so that we can go ahead and get it bent out of the way and get some air. So we're gonna bring this one down and then down. See what I mean about the flex in these guys? The flex is so strong it's already fighting to come back up again. And I'm pushing this bend through the copper. So then the little one that's attached to, I'm actually going to bring out this way some and down, and let that one kick back up a little bit right in here. So we're slowly filling this side, right? So now I need to begin to try to get this side to go. I have this one right here, and I think it's an absolutely awful branch option, right? Completely awful. But this is where I have to draw the line and say, okay guys, I can't cut back any more foliage than what I already have. So for the time being, I'm going to take this one and just move it and kind of kick it around like this. Completely mess up the feng shui of this entire tree right now, but in the long run it's for the health of the tree, so I'm not too upset by it. I'm just going to give this a little twist up top. This branch I didn't put any wire on. I probably should have, now that I think about it, because I'm more likely to not end up keeping this branch. This one in the back I didn't do too much with. I'll just take it, give it a little bend down, and then a little pop back up towards the bottom of it. Just enough to give it some little Shazam of its own. As you all hear, Sylvester's back and talking again. But now we've opened it all up. And I know it doesn't look like much of a tree right now, but trust me, it will in the long run. We just had to get it all opened up, so I didn't take too much foliage off, but now it's wide open, which is going to allow it to back bud and then heal up. And then once it's healed up, either next spring or back around this time, we'll go back and we'll do a little bit more trimming, just make sure all is good. Alright, so I need to actually twist this back real quick so I can get a good roll on there. That way we get a nice healthy heel. So that's about it. Let me pull you out of your little holster here for a moment. I know light quality is awful. No way, can I turn my flash on? What? I could have turned my flash on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the front of the tree. Honestly, if we were to get rid of this, even right now, I feel like we're definitely on the right track. Right there. I think that's absolutely love it. Alright, so as we're coming around here, oh, we're getting called up. Sorry, I can't take you all the way around that way. Can I take you around this way? Getting called up on that side. I don't know. Honestly, I'm super happy with it. But again, let me know your thoughts. I would really like to know them. Yeah, if we were to get rid of that one right there at this point, I would say we're almost into a full shape that we need to just start growing out and getting trimmed back. But at the same time, I'm not 100% certain I'm happy with it. So, thanks for coming along with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that we got back into my super long videos again because I'm pretty sure this one's pushing close to 25 minutes. I'm sorry, don't hate me. Stay subscribed to my channel because I'm going to keep pushing good content to you. I know I was gone for a while, but man, I'm back. I'm feeling great, and I feel like I'm back on the right path. Definitely not like a 4 to 5 video a week path like I was, but I'm on the right path. I'm going to try to at least drop 2 videos a week for you all and try to get some more shorts out there. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoy my content, give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoy my content, you should subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.